And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, a real estate and finance expert, and goes to bat for you every day as your consumer advocate. Your host, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, marketing, and so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, where our number one goals are to educate, entertain, enlighten, but most importantly, we want to engage you in an effort to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Pull out your smartphone, save our hotline number in your phone at 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. And we want to help you win. We also want you to bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. A plethora of resources available for you there as well. You can find a directory of all of our expert contributors at consumerqb.com. You can also watch our live stream television version of the show from WeBeam TV or directly from our website, consumerqb.com. And most importantly, you can submit the form. Submit the contact form on the far right. That's going to come directly to us, just like an email, and going to make sure that we get back to you before our head hits the pillow with any of your questions. We love answering these questions for our listeners out there and viewers of our show, and that's what it's all about, is helping you win in any marketplace. We don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. Let's go around the horn now and make our introductions. Back in studio, Mario Larrea. He's a mortgage specialist with Home First Lending. Welcome in, sir.
Hey, great to be here. So this week has been really interesting with interest rates, so I thought I'd kind of go over what's happened, kind of what's going to go on from here. And then another thing that I see that a lot of people that I speak to first time really don't have a full grasp on if they're looking into condominiums and kind of the challenges with Florida condominiums as far as financing is concerned.
That's right. Yeah, a whole nother can of worms opened up. You look at the HOAs involved, the board of advisors, so to speak, with those HOAs and some of the rental minimums and warrantable versus non-warrantable. So we'll dive deeper into that. I appreciate that, Mario. Also, Teo Leonard in the house. He's the owner of Web Design Ninja.
Hey, good to be here. Welcome. Thanks for having me back. What we want to talk about today is some of the stuff that we've seen the last few weeks regarding common mistakes that businesses are making with their websites, and also how that affects them legally, where we've had some customers who went with somebody that was unprofessional and got caught using some content that was not legally licensed for them, and they find themselves tied up in a lawsuit.
Ooh.
And that can be very expensive. So we'll talk about some of those things and clean it up.
That hit the bank account there, right?
Absolutely.
Man, that could hurt them there. So that's great, Teo. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate those nuggets of advice as well. Marketing is such a huge part right now. We'll expound a little bit more about that as well. And also back in studio, Bob Burmaster, Image 360 Tampa. Welcome in.
Hey, thank you, Brian. I appreciate you having us back in again.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah, we're going to talk about today is the introduction to Image 360 in the Tampa-Ybor city area, kind of new location. And we're going to talk also about the kind of the graphics programs for business owners, as well as some boat graphics for the outdoorsmen out there.
Love it. Yeah, all about marketing there, helping you understand that side of the business. And when you look at marketing, there's your online, you got the offline. There's so many ways you want to make sure it's cohesive. And we got some experts in studio today to help you with that. And also want to remind you, we have a free digital marketing and business growth seminar happening this Thursday over at the Hotel Zamora, our beautiful hotel partner on St. Pete Beach. And it's Thursday, May 25th. 3 to 5:30 at the Hotel Zamora, 3701 Gulf Boulevard, St. Pete Beach. It's the Accelerate Your Success seminar, and we're going to have a business coach there as well, marketing experts talking about digital marketing strategies, targeting, geofencing, search engine optimization, all that kind of good stuff. And also at 6 o'clock, we're taking it to the rooftop, baby. We're going to have some drinks up top and rooftop happy hour. So great networking. A lot of our expert contributors are going to be at this event, and it's going to be Thursday, the 25th, 3 to 5:30 at the Hotel Zamora on beautiful St. Pete Beach. So we want you to reach out at the website, consumerqb.com. Just submit the form right there at consumerqb.com. QB.com, and Deborah's going to get you on the roster for that, and we would love to see you there. And if you haven't checked out the Hotel Zamora, you got to go check it out. It's our official hotel partner. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and you're going to get a 15 to 20% off of your room stay. I had a friend of mine from one of our networking groups reach out, and she was very, very happy with the room rate that she got by mentioning the quarterback code. So the Real Estate Quarterback Show, Consumer Quarterback Show, the Hotel Zamora is our official hotel partner. Make sure you reach out, let them know the quarterback sent you, and go check out the Castile restaurant as well if you haven't done so yet. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner right there. Awesome restaurant, and it's got an awesome little pool and spa area as well, and a great time to enjoy the beach. You walk to the beach, you come back to the hotel and enjoy that time there. So you can go be a guest for the day just and hang out. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this great content. Mario, you kind of hinted at that. It's such a turbulent time now in the marketplace. It seems like every day you look on TV and it's just, Trump did this, so-and-so said that, the Kardashians did this, Bruce Jenner did what? But there's all that geopolitical stuff out there. But then you turn around and you think, okay, I live in this place, and here we are as consumer advocates. We want to help them think a layer deeper and be a little bit more street smart. So let's give them some street smart advice here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, most people don't realize how much some of the stuff going on in politics really affects you and your wallet. Like this week, we are at the lowest we've been at since 2017, and rates were actually on the rise this week, and they just dropped 1/8 of a point today. Basically, what it's all about is the allegations of Trump's him
Russian ties or
whatever. Talking with the director of the FBI and stuff. So this is the nice thing about it is they're low. Bad thing about it is if this all blows over, they're going to continue to go right back up. So strike while the iron's hot. The rates are really low right now. Again, the lowest they've been in 2017. So it's a great time.
Yeah, get off the fence of home ownership as well. If you're a renter out there, let's talk about that. I mean, this is one of the worst markets to be a renter in the history of planet Earth. I mean, especially you look at Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater. I mean, you look at the inventory. There's a lack of inventory on the selling side, but then also as a renter, you're competing for the inventory, and then we know that the landlords have consistently jacked that rate up, the rental rate. So maybe talk about that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I would say almost every first-time home buyer that I work with, they purchase a house that's nicer than what they're renting, and their monthly payments go down. And not only that, I mean, again, and I've said this a bunch of times, first-time homebuyers don't really realize the tax benefits that they get back. So not only are they dropping payments, but they're also getting more money back at the end of the year as well.
Yeah, so that's the added bonus there at the end of the year. And then what happens is when you get into that situation and you're paying your mortgage to a bank, a mortgage lender, you're building up that principal or you're paying down that principal and you're building up that equity. And that equity is basically liquid wealth that you have at some point, not as liquid as other forms of currency, but you have the opportunity to pull it out later if you need it. Worst case scenario, something happens. But let's do a rent versus own analysis here. Rent versus own analysis. So for the first 5 listeners that text in, we want to help you get off the fence. Whenever you see that goal in mind or you kind of have that thought, don't put it off, because what happens is you have the law of diminishing intent, meaning that your intent now might be higher than it is 3 hours from now, 3 days from now. So if you're in that situation, or maybe you know someone who is, text the word rent and the amount of rent that you're paying to our Consumer Advocate hotline at 813-670-7372. Text the word rent and the amount of rent that you're paying to our Consumer Advocate hotline, and it's 670-7372. That's a Tampa number here, 813. And what we're going to do is we're going to give you a rent versus own analysis. We're going to break down the amount of rent that you're currently paying versus what you could be paying in a new mortgage from Mario Larrea here, Home First Lending.
Yeah, I actually have some things broken down for a long term, because it's not only the immediate savings, but if you look at it over 3 years, the amount of money you've retained on top of paying less monthly, I mean, it's amazing, the difference in renting versus purchasing.
Yeah, it's staggering, and not only the fact that now you have the pride of ownership, you're leaving a better legacy for your children and the kids, and they're going to say, wow, now we own this home. I remember when we used to rent, and we couldn't have the parties, or we couldn't paint the walls how we want to. Now we have that leeway to do that, Mario.
Yeah, that's true. And you mentioned something else. As you're paying that mortgage down, and especially right now, the homes are appreciating, so that equity is growing faster than actually you're paying it down. And it is like a savings account almost at times. I've had people that they're in a bad situation. I had some lady call me yesterday that had to have a surgery done unexpected, and she's looking in refinancing to pull out cash. Actually lowered her rate as well. But, it's something that you have an option, a backup plan that you wouldn't if you were renting.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to dive deeper into that, some of the economic things happening. We're going to look at some geopolitical, how that's affecting on a local market. And we're also going to bring in Teo Leonard into the conversation, web design ninja of Tampa Bay here, going to help you understand more about your marketing, your digital marketing, and more from Bob Burmaster as well later in the show. So we want you to stay with us. Don't touch that dial. Oh, the top 10 most popular websites in the world right now, the global ranking according to Alexa. We're going to talk about that as well. So stay with us. Don't touch that dial. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Don't forget, Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Visit realestateradiotampa.com or text the word VALUE to their consumer advocacy hotline at 813-917-1894. Call Brandon today, 813-917-1894.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect 98.75% patient satisfaction. 50,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Over half our patients have suffered from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes here, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and a top listing agent, a top real estate agent in Tampa Bay as well, published author and a professional speaker. We'd love to engage you on our website, consumerqb.com, consumerqb.com, or our hotline, 813-670-7372.
Welcome to
670-REQB is the last four there, 670-7372. Check out our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry by surfing the radio waves. And you can also start a podcast. If you don't want to go into broadcasting, it's real simple. Start a podcast in kind of the new era of blogging. It's another way to help you grow your sphere of influence and harness the power of the media. All right, we're back here in studio talking currently here with Mario Larrea. He's a mortgage specialist, Home First Lending. We're going to bring Teo Leonard into the conversation as well, coming up as well. And we got the top 10 most popular websites in the world. So see if you can figure out what those are. And just a couple of hot listings I want to let you know about. 10616 Cape Hatteras Drive in Tampa. This is in Palm Bay, at Bayport area, kind of Longboat area there on West Hillsborough Avenue. $398,000 for this property, just listed. And it's a beautiful property, turnkey, ready to go at 10616 Cape Hatteras Drive in Tampa. $398,000, almost 3,000 square feet, and it's beautiful, gorgeous pool home here in Tampa Bay. And I got another property kind of east side of town here, 701 East Crenshaw Street in Tampa, 3-bedroom, 2-bath property, $262,000, just reduced, seller's motivated, and this is a turnkey property as well, and is a beautiful rehab renovation job that the owner did on this property at 701 East Crenshaw. Beautiful properties here in lovely Tampa Bay. All right, so Mario, when we talk about down payment, a lot of times people think, well, I got to have 20 or 30% down. They really don't understand the market. I'd love for you to elaborate a little bit about the down payment options they have, and also some of these down payment assistance programs, because there's also money out there that people can access from municipalities.
Yeah, there are. It's getting less and less that you're having to use those from what I see, because now lenders are opening up more and more programs for first-time home buyers. For instance, I have one it's a 1% down program. It's actually a 3% down, but the lender picks up 2%. So wow. You walk in with 3% equity, you've only put 1% in. You can have the seller pay closing costs. The nice thing about those, as opposed to the down payment assistant programs, is that's your money. There's nothing tied to it. A lot of the down payment, if you can't qualify for one of those 1% down programs, you could look into the down payment assistance as well. Only main difference is they do put a lien on your property.
Right.
After 5 years or so, it's forgiven. But, if you can go around that, this 1% program is amazing. But I get that all the time when I hear people call in to ask me questions or, get pre-approved. Well, I only have 10% down, so it's going to be a while. Like, well, you only need 3% with conventional. Yep. You can go with the 1%. You can do 3.5% down with FHA. We can look into options for you to get that down payment paid for you. So, there's a lot of options out there, and it's getting a lot easier to purchase these days.
Yeah, you can get creative with it as well. When you have a cooperating real estate agent, a real estate team, you can get creative. You can get it build in seller concessions. You can have realtors. They don't want to do this a lot of times, but they can rebate money back to the commissions and of their commissions back to you to help you get in the home. And we do that for a lot of our veterans as well. Whenever we're doing veteran loans, we will Platinum MVP Realty. I'm the owner of the company, so we kind of dictate what we want to do here. But if it's between 1/4 and 1/2 point, we'll rebate that back to any veterans that are purchasing, first responders, active military, any of those types of folks. We're going to take care of them, and that's a whole nother area that we really want to help out there. Mario.
Yeah, VA loans, first off, if you're eligible for a VA loan, they're great products. I mean, 0% down. Again, you can have your realtor negotiate in the closing costs. So you literally can come in with nothing out of pocket.
Yeah.
The appraisal you don't pay for up front, which is different from every other product. Those you have to pay for up front. Those are paid at closing. But again, if you get the seller to pay your closing costs, you're not paying that either. So, VA is a great option. But in pretty much all of the programs that I offer, if there are even just a little bit of seller concessions, I can get it where you only have to make that minimum down payment. So we actually can pay a portion of your closing cost for you. So if we get, let's say, 2% seller contributions, I can kick in the rest. And again, you can basically just come in with the minimum down payment required. So it's again, like I was saying, it's getting a lot easier. There is a lot more flexibility these days.
Yeah, I like that, man. That's something where we want you to reach out. If you're listening to this show, maybe somebody you know of, a loved one, and they're still renting, or maybe they're just looking to maybe refinance, restructure some debt. Mario Larrea, best in the business here in Tampa Bay, and conveniently located. Can even make house calls. Someone on your team could make house calls, I think, right? They can come to your office.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm here locally, my office is just right over the bridge in the Tampa side by West Shore Mall. So I'm close to Pinellas, I'm in Tampa. So yeah, I mean, you can come out, I can come to you, we can do it over the phone, whatever makes it more convenient for you.
That's what's great these days. It's such an easy way to do business. You have the electronic signature systems, and you can make things happen and work remotely as well.
Yeah, it's speeding things up a lot. It's funny, you were talking about your listing in Cape Hatteras. I think I mentioned this to you before, but my sister lives in there. It's a really great neighborhood.
Cool.
Especially for families and stuff. They have a lot of parties just in that little pocket.
Yeah.
And your kids can run around because it's a gated community. So
that's right.
It's a cool place to live. I think my brother-in-law has a boat on a lift there too, just right across the street. So it's a cool neighborhood.
It really is. And you got bay access. And one of the cool things that the boaters will tell you is that, I guess maybe in Bayport it's different, but in Bayport you've got the fresh water. I'm not sure if that body of water there is fresh.
That one is fresh too.
Is it? Yeah.
So you almost don't have to flush your engines, but it's probably a good idea to do it.
Yeah.
Always flush.
Yeah.
Always flush, right?
Yeah.
So you're a boater as well. You're down there in Apollo Beach, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we were out a couple days ago. But
nice.
Always flush the engine. It's amazing the wear and tear that the engine takes with salt water.
Yeah.
I just learned that the hard way a year ago. A couple of Suzukis are about 10 years old, which they should have still been good, and I never flushed them, so I had to completely repower. So it was an expensive lesson, but a lesson learned.
Yeah, that is, man. I had a big 26-foot cat with twin 250s on it, and I would always make sure that we were flushing those things out. And growing up, you learn that kind of, sometimes the hard way, like you said. But if you just joined us, I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, and we're having a real estate roundtable discussion. We're going to talk some marketing with you as well. Mario Larrea in the house. He's here to my right. This is Home First Lending. And also, let's bring Teo Leonard into the conversation. He's the owner, Web Design Ninja. And what a great brand you've got going there, Teo.
Thanks. It's been a fun 29 years now we've been working with the internet and building websites for almost a little over 23 years, almost 23 and a half years now. Something I want to bring up today that we're seeing more and more of is businesses make a very critical mistake where they go with a non-professional web designer, or they attempt to build it on their own.
Right.
And we had a chiropractor that came to us about a month ago, and she actually reached out to us because she had hired a non-professional web guy. Somebody knew the neighbor's kid could build her a website.
Yep.
She was just starting out, and she got a lawsuit. She got sued by iStock Photo and Getty Images because her web guy grabbed some images off of Google and used those stock photos in her website. And at the same time, we were looking at her website, and she is legally responsible for those. I mean, the web guy is not.
Yep.
And of course, he disappeared. And we looked at some critical things that were missing from her web page because the template that he purchased for $39 or $59 from like Theme Forest didn't take into account how people use that website. And so we built her a new website, did it over 3 payments, and the net result is prior to using us, she had X number of clients a day. With the new website, simply by not improving the traffic, the exact same traffic, but she picked up 2 new clients a day on average, which constituted for her $1,400 extra dollars a month.
Nice.
And simple things by defining the area. If you think about how people use the website, geez, particularly for like a chiropractor,
right?
Oh, my back hurts a little bit. I wonder, what I have. And so they bring up the map.
Yep.
They look at the website. If it doesn't say where it's at, you're going to lose those customers. If you can't click the button to call them, they're just going to go to the next site. So she was missing out on 2 customers a day by simply a very minor issue on her website. Let's
talk about that on the flip side of some of the geo-targeting, geo-fencing, some of the click-to-call issues with websites. We're seeing that as well. Some of the common mistakes that people have. Let's talk about that. Small business owners out there, a lot of small business owners, medium-sized businesses, managers are listening to our show. So we're going to help you. We're going to be different from the mainstream media and help you understand this when we come back. Also, later in the show, top 10 most popular websites in the world right now, global ranking according to Alexa, and more from our expert contributors here in studio. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey everybody, I'm Forbes Riley, celebrity TV fitness host and creator of The Spin Gym. I'm here today with Brandon Rhymes, and you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Great ways to get happy, healthy, and wealthy.
Don't forget, Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Visit realestateradiotampa.com or text the word VALUE to their consumer advocacy hotline at 813-917-1894. Call Brandon today, 813-917-1894.
welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show. Giving a big shout out to Hula Bay, our official restaurant partner, 5210 Tyson Avenue, right here in South Tampa. Hula Bay, awesome restaurant. Wide variety on the menu. Excellent sushi. The tuna is actually shipped in fresh from Hawaii every 2 days. And on the weekends, it's a great place to hang out as well. You got Duke's Retired Surfer Bar down there, live music a lot of times. And you got Freedom Boat Club over there. I love Freedom Boat Club as well. I'm out there on the boats a lot this time of year. But go say hello to the management team, Todd, and the team over there, Hula Bay. They're going to give you that free water with lemon we talk about here. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. And so Hula Bay, awesome. Great restaurant, great partner. And also want to remind you, we've got a digital marketing and business growth seminar coming up on the 25th, Thursday, the 25th, 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m., Hotel Zamora, and it's 3701 Gulf Boulevard. And you got digital marketing experts there. You're going to have a business coach as well, Patrick Lease from Action Coach. He's going to talk about mastering persuasion and influence, building a successful business. And also at 6 o'clock, we're taking it to the rooftop. We're going to have a rooftop happy hour right on top of the 360 Lounge there. The Hotel Zamora has this beautiful lounge up top. It's called the 360 Lounge. It was actually voted top 3 rooftops in the eastern side of the United States. So it's a great opportunity to come out and meet some of our expert contributors and have some fun with us. Accelerate your success. Learn more to earn more. Thursday, May 25th, 3 to 5:30, the Hotel Zamora in St. Pete Beach. All right, so we're back here in studio. Currently, we're talking here with Teo Leonard. He's the web design ninja of Tampa Bay, and we're looking at people's websites today. A lot of times, they're not even click to call. You're looking at it, and they're not click to call. They don't understand some of the geo-targeting that's available. Can you elaborate on that, sir?
Yeah, absolutely. Click to call is an absolute necessity. As we've been reviewing sites in the last several years, I mean, everything that we've had in probably the last 5 years, every phone number and every map is integrated into the cell phone. So when you put your finger on that phone number or put your finger on the address, it opens up either to call the number, or in the case of a map, it'll open up your Maps app on your phone. What's amazing is if you track the number of people that leave if that phone number is not click to call, it's around 75% is what we've been seeing in the last month that we've run the analysis on websites. And that means that 3/4 of your potential customers are going to simply go to the next website and call that company.
Yep.
And the businesses don't realize that is the amount of business that they're losing. You know, I mean, that's money in your pocket, and it's an absolute necessity. You mentioned Hula Bay, the restaurant.
Yep.
When it comes to geo-targeting, and it's imperative that your service area, if you provide a service or you work in an industry where you're looking for customers in a specific region, that is clearly defined on the very front page of the website. We know that, again, almost 3/4 of the people are not going to go to another area of your website to determine what your service area is, whether you're an electrician, air conditioning company, restaurant. You have to provide that information, because if you're going to, Joe's AC Company and it doesn't clearly state that they service, South Tampa to Carrollwood to Brandon, you're not going to take the time to call them to find out if they come out to your house.
Right.
You're simply going to go to the next website.
Yep.
And you lose business. It's astronomical, the money that's left on the table. And we see it absolutely every day. We see it 2 to 3 times a day when we review a website.
Let's talk about that, because I think that's so interesting. When we met the other day, we were talking about some of the backside of what you see as a developer versus what the user or even the customer sees on their side. So you've got these different, what do they call them, like a heat map, right? You can see where the mic or
we have hot spots that we can define, and we see how people use the websites, and we track various interaction. I'll give you a great example. We have a website that we maintain for an electrician down by the Apollo Beach area. And we noticed when we first built the website that about 65% of the people went to About the Company, and it's very family oriented. And we noticed that 82% of the people that went to About the Company and saw that it was a family-owned business and it was family-oriented clicked on the phone number to call them for an appointment, versus only about 40% that went to the services page that talked about the type of electrical services that they offer, clicked on the phone number. So we took that information and we revamped the homepage to make it very specific. We showed pictures of the families, pictures of their kids. They actually have a picture of their baby or their toddler in one of those plastic cars with their logo on it.
Yeah.
And ironically, that's the number one picture that gets clicked on, the blow up that people look at. And as we made those changes, the number of phone calls that get clicked on increased about 30%.
Nice.
And so by changing it, well, yeah, they're master electricians and they're journeyman electricians and all of that. It's really their selling point of what made the customers choose them was it's about the family.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to have somebody in the house. They're going to have access to whatever valuables and everything else is in the house. We want those to be family-oriented, good people.
Yeah.
And so by changing that perspective on the website, we were able to increase the number of calls over 30%.
I think you're seeing more and more of that as well when you look at just big box stores, corporate versus supporting small, local, family-owned business. And that's what we talk a lot about on the show, you know, from our lenders to, the different folks involved on the marketing side and a lot of the real estate-related companies that we work with, it's all local companies here in Tampa Bay. And I just think it's a national sentiment, the American people, we've been drugged through the mortgage meltdown. We've been drugged through a lot of these things through the politicians, the lobbyists, the big governing types of folks, the bureaucracies that control a lot of the systems. So I think more and more, to your point with that website, people want to deal with family-owned companies that are going to support local charities, support local economy.
Absolutely. And but something that we build into every website, something we build into every website, is all of that analytical knowledge and tracking so that we can come back in 2 months or 6 months or 9 months and look and see how customers are interacting with that website so we can make those changes. And that's kind of where we're different than a lot of the other web development companies out there.
That's important. I want to remind you, if you want to reach out and hear more from Teo and maybe talk to him, have a consultation, 670-7372, our consumer advocate hotline, 813-670-7372. Just shoot a call or a text to that line. Also submit the form at consumerqb.com. More from Teo to come. Let's go ahead and bring Bob Burmaster into the conversation. Image 360 Tampa-Ybor. And so, Bob, welcome back in. And let's talk a little bit about what you offer our listeners, our business owners out there.
Hey, thanks, Brandon. Yeah, we're new to the Tampa-Ybor city area. We transferred from the Graphics Edge, which has been around for Tampa for over 4 years. And really, with the Change Image 360. We work closely with our clients so that it maximizes their creativity and the visual impact of their graphics. We sit down to actually understand their basic needs. When a company comes and says, hey, I need a sign, or I want a sign, well, the difference between a want and a need. There's a lot of sign shops out there that's going to give you exactly what you ask for. I want this. Well, it's not what you need. So we really sit down to understand what it actually need.
Yeah, and you've been in this industry for a long time. So when you look at, you can provide that insight of, hey, you say you might want this type of design, but here's what we've seen maybe work in the past.
Yeah, exactly. I've got an MBA in marketing and design.
Nice.
And also in business. So we understand not only how to make a sign, we understand what business and what actually is going to correspond to results.
Right. Yeah, and that's important. And to be specific here, we're talking about any signage out by the roadways, any boat wraps, vehicle wraps. You're also doing the storefronts where they put it on the glass, right?
Yeah, definitely. We cover pretty much anything from signage. You got a monument sign out there, storefront windows, vehicle graphics and wraps. So pretty much we're kind of a one-stop shop for your visual communications. Your internet's important. All that needs to tie together. So if we see what your website looks like and work with your web designer, we make sure it's all coordinated and not,
Exactly.
You can't confuse what your customers and what they're looking for. You need to be consistent across every platform, every marketing aspect.
Yeah, the messaging is so important, and that's a major part of today is your branding and building that brand and developing it and making sure you're not putting out mixed signals to the buyers, potential prospects that you have. So Bob Burmaster here can help you with that. And when you look at car wraps and you look at vehicle wraps, it's such a growing segment. There's so many cars out there and big buses and vans being wrapped now.
Yeah, the vehicle wrap is probably, for visual communication and printed, that's probably one of the best return on investments you can make on your marketing. So it's one thing we really talk to our customers about, is that the prices on that is not made for Coca-Cola. They're down for the average business out there. It's not out of everybody's reach anymore.
It's amazing. I mean, at the Web Ninja, we have our car partially wrapped, and we get 2 jobs a month where people call us and go, "Hey, we saw you on the freeway. What can you do?"
Let's talk about more tips. We're going to go in the lightning round when we come back. We're going to get tips. We're also going to talk about the 10 most popular websites in the world right now. So where do those browsers point to? Where does that point to? We're going to let you know the top 10 popular websites in the world, and more from our expert contributors. We're going to give some great nuggets of advice and some consumer advocate tips, small business owner tips when we come back. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
Don't forget, Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Visit realestateradiotampa.com or text the word VALUE to their consumer advocacy hotline at 813-917-1894. Call Brandon today, 813-917-1894.
Hi, Jackie Skelton from JR World Travel here. If you travel, you need a licensed professional travel consultant, not a computer. Your licensed professional consultant can get you more for your time and your money. Value for your money and experience, not marketing salesmanship. When you're sick, you call the doctor. When you need legal advice, you call an attorney. So the next time you want to go on any type of travel, call your licensed professional travel consultant who actually represents you. We specialise in group travel, family reunions, weddings, to escorting large groups or making special arrangements for the disabled. Please call 844-249-0190. We are a full-service travel consultancy offering worldwide concierge service. Air, land, sea, rivers, resorts, locally, nationally and internationally. Remember that number, 844-249-0190.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, former USF football player, played on the inaugural football team, USF. And now we're quarterbacking introductions to all of our expert contributors. We're quarterbacking transactions for our sellers, our buyers in real estate out there. And we want you to think of our show as the hub of your financial, your business, your health, your marketing wheel. And each spoke extending out, representing another one of our preferred partners, the finest folks in all of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region that we've assembled and we've vetted to help you win in any marketplace. So we'd love for you to reach out at our hotline at 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
670-7372. Shoot a call or a text over, and we're going to promise to get back to you before our head hits the pillow that same day. Also, consumerqb.com. Just submit the form at consumerqb.com. There's a contact form there that you can submit as well. Shout out to Source One Solutions. Robert Hessel, he's our security partner with Source One Solutions. Robert Hessel and his team do a great job. They utilize Honeywell technology to protect your home or office. So Source One Solutions, Robert Hessel and his team, big shout out, longtime friends of the program here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we're back here in studio. Currently here, we're talking with Bob Burmaster, Image 360 Tampa, and also in studio as well, Mario Larrea. He's a mortgage specialist, Home First Lending. Teo Leonard, web design ninja here in Tampa Bay as well, helping people with website design and marketing. And we're also going to talk about the top 10 most popular websites in the world right now. Got a global ranking here according to Alexa. So let's go ahead and jump back into it, Bob. You know, what a great place to live, work, and play here in Tampa Bay. And there's so many things to do. And some of my favorite things to do is get out there on the weekends, get on the boats, and enjoy Freedom Boat Club and just kind of popping around within it, whether it's intercoastal or out on the beaches. So that opens up a whole nother area of business for you as well.
Yeah, it does. And it should open up a whole nother area for every business that's out there on the water. You know, when you see a boat going by, 95% of them are just white, kind of boring, right. Doesn't catch your eye.
Yep.
But it's a great place to put an advertisement. You can wrap your boat, for individual consumers, just making it look different and wild, meet your personality. It just kind of makes it fun more to have a boat that's personalized into your boat.
Yeah, that's neat. I remember one time we were talking about one of the bigger ones you've done, too. You've done some pretty big boats out there, right?
Yeah, we've done, the largest one we've done was an 87-foot yacht.
Wow.
And the smallest one we've done was a 10-foot kayak.
Wow, okay. So the big yacht, man, that seems like, 87 feet, so that's basically just some rolled material that you're going to roll on there?
Yeah, for all of our boats, it's done in one continuous piece of vinyl. So it's you're not going to have to worry about it lifting on water. Okay. We steam the edges. And in some places, having a boat wrapped in one piece just adds one durability to the product.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it catching and lifting. And the other thing is just that you don't have to worry about lining up graphics. It just makes it look so much cleaner, and it's a lot better looking on the boat.
Yeah, I love it. Bob Burmaster. So printing, branding, you talk about vehicle wraps, boat wraps, any kind of a marquee out by the road. He can do all your signage for that, and he's got some expert advice when it comes to that as well. And so let's go ahead and jump into our top 10 most popular websites in the world right now, a global ranking according to Alexa. So we're going to go to Mario Larrea here, Home First Lending. You're up first. Let's see if you can guess these top 10 here.
I feel like I'm at a little deficit sitting next to some guy named the Web Design Ninja.
Yeah.
But I was thinking Amazon.
Amazon, unfortunately, is not on the list, my friend. Amazon, you would think they're such a popular brand, and it's such, a lot of things happening there. So I got to give you the buzz. Teo Leonard.
Can we call a friend? Because my project manager will probably know the answers to all this stuff.
Yeah.
As we've grown over the years, I've come to rely on my main gal, Stephanie, there that has all the specs and stats on that. Because you say worldwide, I got to go with Alibaba just because it has replaced Amazon in terms of a worldwide marketplace.
I see some that are kind of like that, but I don't see. Spell that for me. A-L?
A-L-I-B-A-B-A, I believe.
I don't see that one unless one of these later in the list. I'll show you what I was confusing that with maybe. But I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
Okay. Bob Burmaster, we're talking about the top 10 most popular websites in the world right now.
Well, I want to come back on the show again, so I'm going to play this one safe. I'm going to go with the quarterback show.
The quarterback show. I wish. That would be nice.
It would be great.
I'm not going to buzz you on that one.
Well, I mean, the obvious one, we got to, Google if that's going to show up.
Number one.
And Facebook.
Number two.
Because that's going to change with the apps as well. Amazon, believe it or not, most people are buying off the app than on the website.
Oh, so that disqualifies.
So that disqualifies it.
So they would most likely be number one.
They would most likely be towards the top.
Towards the top,
Except so many people are using the app. But Facebook, it's app and computer for both. So
people are at work.
Yeah, for the safe bet, I would have said Google and Facebook for 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yahoo is probably up there as well because of their mail. There's so many people that have Yahoo. So would it surprise me to have Yahoo?
Number 4. Number 4 right there.
So
let's go, Mario. Fill in the void there.
Well, now that we're doing social media, I guess Twitter maybe.
Twitter is number 10. Yes. Twitter is number 10. You got that?
You got it. All right. And Pinterest, you have that
Pinterest is not on there.
No.
Pinterest is not on there.
Apple.
Insta is not on there.
Oh, on the apps. Yeah.
Bob, you want to throw?
How about Yelp?
You want to throw a guess in there? Nope. Yep.
No, that's almost all app.
You guys are forgetting a big one that we always do when we always, you hear me say this 100 times. You probably, when you repurpose this content, where are we going to put it?
YouTube.
Yeah. We're going to put it on YouTube. So number 3.
See, but that's owned by Google, so that's kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Separate website, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yep. So let's
Same
see.
login.
So rounding out the top 10 here. So number 1, Google. Actually, let's go the other way. Number 10, Twitter. Number 9. Now, this is where you had mentioned this Alibaba thing. There's one called Taobao. It's Taobao. That's an Asian site.
Right.
Let's see. That's going to be launched in 2003. It's the Taibo marketplace, is most popular consumer online in China.
Yeah, it's similar to Alibaba. They're virtually the same. I think it's the same owner.
Alibaba.
Yeah.
Okay, and then number 8 is LinkedIn. Very popular business networking. Number 7 is Tencent QQ. Tencent QQ. And that's going to be another mainland China, provides IM service, so instant messaging service,
because
and also
Facebook,
a search engine.
et cetera, is all blocked in China.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so then we've got number 6, Wikipedia. Interesting. So Wikipedia is number 6 there. Number 5 is another site from Asia. It's the Baidu, Baidu.
That's also owned with Alibaba. That's kind of the same situation.
Yep. Number 4 is Yahoo. Number 3, YouTube. And YouTube is the most popular site specifically for sharing videos. It was purchased by Google for over $1 billion.
Yep.
Wow. Also, Facebook, popular networking site started by Mark Zuckerberg and Harvard. We all heard that story before. And then Google, here we go. So Google offered Gmail, their popular email services, owns YouTube, Blogger, and some other interesting things. So yeah, so there's your top 10, the top 10 most popular websites. And now we're going to go ahead and finish up the show here with some consumer advocate tips, things to do, things to avoid in our lightning round. Mario Larrea, you're up first, sir.
Again, if you're looking into real estate, this is the time to buy. So if you're on the fence, get out there now. Rates are low. Property values are increasing. I mean, I see it all the time. People's appraised values are coming in lower at a lot of times than what they're actually paying for the property. So they're rising, and they're rising quick. And pretty soon the rates are going to be up there. You're going to be able to afford a lot less house.
That's right. Get pre-approved now. Lock in your rate. Mario Larrea, best in the business. Teo Leonard.
You know, I guess to plug my website as well, we just wrote an article about what to look for and how to pick a professional web designer, a quality web designer, and avoid the pitfalls that so many businesses are make a mistake. And that's on our blog at thewebdesignninja.com.
Yep.
And it has it's a multi-part article that has specific questions and details that you should ask of a potential web designer.
Nice.
Simply to avoid wasting your money.
Yeah.
It just breaks our heart to see so many businesses cough up $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 and make just a critical mistake, and they have to start over.
Good point. Bob Burmaster, Image 360.
Yeah, kind of along the line of Teo is when you're working with a professional sign maker is to describe what you need and not what you want. Because somebody knows exactly what you need, may come up with a different solution that's really going to fill that need, and not I want a banner. Well, the banner's not what you needed. So just explain to them in detail on what you need.
I like that. Reach out to the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to put you in touch with all of our expert contributors, help you win in any marketplace, whether it's marketing, real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning. So many ways that we can help you. Thanks for tuning in to our show. I want to thank all of our expert contributors, also our listeners out there. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Something as simple as maybe packing up leftover food you may have in your pantry, your fridge, carrying it with you to and from your commute to work, and handing it to that person that you see in need. Also, try to volunteer. Get out there and volunteer, and donate if you can. Go through your spring cleaning list this time of year. Donate, volunteer, be a force for good in the community. Do something to help another, and be kind out there to one another. And thanks for tuning in to the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show right here on iHeartRadio. And please check out realestateradiotampa.com to buy or sell real estate and see all of his expert contributors. Thank you.
Don't forget, Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Visit realestateradiotampa.com or text the word VALUE to their consumer advocacy hotline at 813-917-1894. Call Brandon today, 813-917-1894.